The story begins with a woman named Polly. Her phone was filled with several unseen voicemails. She had a lot of pending tasks piling up. Even the plants in her house had withered away and died. So Polly sat down to prepare for a job interview. But just then, a woman appeared outside her house. She had lost her way. Standing outside in the cold, she was shivering. Polly invited her inside. The woman had a bandage wrapped around her hand. She seemed extremely anxious and distressed. Polly offered her some water to drink. The woman had her son's mobile number with her. Then she asked Polly, "Are you married?" Polly said no. The woman said, "This house, it's a lot for a young woman." Polly explained that it belonged to her sister. Her sister and her husband had rented it out to Polly because they needed a house with a bigger lawn for their little daughter. But then the woman said, "I'm gonna start now." She pulled out a box from her suitcase and placed it in front of Polly. Inside the box was an hourglass. The woman said, "You are going to die tonight." Polly was terrified. She couldn't understand why this woman was saying such a thing. The woman said, "You have to do things." She thanked Polly for the water. Then she said, "Don't you dare tell anyone." So Polly pushed her out of the house, telling her she had to leave. But the woman called Polly by her name. Polly had never told her what her name was. The woman said, "I am sorry." So Polly called her mom and told her everything. She mentioned that the woman had a box with her. Polly's mom asked if there was a bomb inside it. Polly said no. It wasn't a bomb, just an old wooden box that the woman had now left in the middle of the road. Polly said she should probably call the police. The woman had told her she was going to die. But her mom told her not to worry so much. It was probably just some weird cult shit. Polly's mom told her to focus on her interview tomorrow. Polly went inside and took a shower. She started trying on different dresses for the next day. She sat down and was scrolling through her phone. Behind her, we saw something appear. This thing called out to Polly. Startled, Polly rushed downstairs and lit a cigarette. Just then, her mom called. Polly said she was losing her mind. She had just heard her mom's voice. She could even smell her perfume. Polly's mom told her to calm down. But Polly went back upstairs. While still on the call, she carefully checked her room. There was nothing there. Polly's mom tried to comfort her by reminding her of childhood memories. But then Polly noticed that the box had somehow come back inside the house on its own. Her mom suggested that maybe Polly had brought it inside herself. Polly took the hourglass out of the box. But without Polly even saying anything, her mom already knew. This wasn't Polly's mom. Someone started laughing in her mom's voice, saying, "You are going to die." Polly hung up the phone. Then the doors in her house began slamming. She got another call from her mom. In her mom's voice, the thing said, "You are going to die unless you put 3 things inside that box." These 3 things were something you hate, something you need, and something you love. Polly had to decide what these things were. But the box would know if Polly put in the wrong item, meaning Polly had to think carefully before choosing. She put her cigarette box inside, calling it something you hate. But the box didn't accept it. That meant it was wrong. The sand in the hourglass started falling. Polly's throat began to choke. She struggled to breathe. A key came out of Polly's throat. Polly set it aside and went to her neighbor. She needed to use her phone to call the police. But the neighbor was talking to her husband, who was at the airport right now. Polly had to wait. But then, the neighbor herself received a call from the police. Polly couldn't understand how. Then the neighbor pulled out a knife and stabbed herself. She too had come under the box's control. She slit her own throat. Polly found a message on her neck, "Don't you dare." She went back to her house. The sand in the hourglass was falling rapidly. Just then, a photo fell, and Polly had disappeared from it. Polly got a call from her dad. She answered the phone. Her dad spoke from the other end. But this wasn't possible because her dad was dead. In her dad's voice, the thing said, "Something you hate, baby doll, not something you're supposed to." So this thing knew about Polly's dad and her childhood too. It knew everything. It said, "You know what you hate. What did you lose the day I died?" So Polly picked up the key that had come out of her throat. It was the key to a drawer built into her closet. Inside the drawer were photos of her dad. In one photo, he was wearing a cross. That cross was also lying in the same drawer. The moment Polly held it in her fist, the lights started flickering. The door leading out got locked. A hand reached out from behind Polly. Polly started looking around to see what it was. Then a demon that looked like her dad lunged at her. Polly understood what she truly hated. She was about to put the cross inside the box. Because after her dad's death, she had begun to hate God. Because God let his dad die. The box accepted the cross. The hourglass started again. Then Polly started hearing a woman's voice. It was her own mirror reflection. It was saying, "You are dead, you are dead." There was a cutter in her hand. The cutter appeared in Polly's hand in reality too. Polly got another call. It was her sister. But how could Polly trust whether this was really her sister or not? From the other end, her sister said, "There you are. I see your car on the street." So Polly told her, No, don't let me in." But Polly's sister had already hung up. Polly tried to open her door to go to her sister, but none of the doors in her house would open. Even her windows were jammed shut. The window glass wouldn't break either, meaning Polly had to first put "something you need" into the box. She asked the box, "Please tell me." Then her TV turned on. Videotapes of Polly's niece, Amy, started playing on the screen. In the tape, she was playing with Amy's toes, meaning the box was asking for Polly's smallest toe. Otherwise, it would hurt her niece. Even though she didn't want to, Polly somehow gathered the courage and cut off her toe with the cutter. She put it in the box, then went and bandaged her foot to stop the bleeding. But just then, the demon version of her mom appeared. Polly went back to check the box, but the box hadn't accepted her toe. Messages saying "wrong, wrong" started appearing on her phone. In the videotape, Amy started appearing covered in blood. Polly asked her reflection, "Please, tell me, what do you want?" The box wanted Polly's index finger. Polly's time was running out. Once again, to save her niece, she gathered the courage and started cutting off her index finger. Screaming in pain, she completed the task. As soon as she placed her finger in the box, all the lights in the house went out. Polly took off her top and used it to stop the bleeding from her hand. This time, the box accepted both of her fingers. The door leading out of Polly's house opened. She went straight to her sister Lainey's house. Lainey's door was open too. Music was blaring at full volume inside. Polly heard Lainey's voice from upstairs. But when she went to check her room, Lainey was lying on her bed. When Polly looked at her, her eyes were open. Polly went to Amy's room. Her eyes were open too. Polly hugged her and started crying. She thought they were all dead. Crying, she kept saying, "She didn't do anything." Then the music started playing again downstairs. Polly went down and turned it off. The box had now arrived here on its own. All the phones in the house started ringing. Polly picked up one of the phones. Her niece spoke from the other end. She used to call Polly Auntie P. Polly said, "You killed them." Amy said, "No, you did." She said, "You gave what you wanted to give. But did you truly need it, Auntie P?" She asked, "Tell me, what do you love?" Polly said, "I loved them." But Amy said, "Did you?" Polly said, "I love you." Polly took a knife and went to Amy's room. On the call, Amy was saying, "I think you should take my nose." But Polly cut off a few strands of her hair instead and started putting them in the box. On the call, Amy was saying, "What if you're wrong, Auntie P? Will it be over?" Fearfully, Polly put the hair in the box. She closed it. The call ended. When she opened the box again, the hair strands were gone. meaning the box had accepted them. Just then, Lainey came downstairs. She was completely fine. Polly ran to Amy. Amy woke up too. She looked perfectly okay. But then she also transformed into a demon. Polly tried to run away in fear. But Amy stabbed her. Polly regained consciousness back in her own house. The box had returned here too. Polly had done everything, yet this game wasn't ending. Crying, she said, "What more do you want?" She put her ring in the box. The ring disappeared. She put her locket inside. She put her blood inside. But then a hand reached out from inside the box, trying to pull Polly inside. Polly barely escaped. Crying, she kept asking, "What is left?" She remembered how that woman had given her this box. Meaning, Polly had to pass it on to someone else too. Polly went and knocked on many doors in her neighborhood. No one answered. Finally, a young girl opened the gate. Polly told her that her house was nearby. She was coming from her sister's place, but she had lost her keys somewhere. This young girl's parents weren't home right now. They had gone to a party. Polly said, "I just need to call my sister." The girl let her inside. Polly sat down and apologized to her. The girl asked what happened, but Polly couldn't tell her anything. The girl took her phone and stepped aside. So Polly took out the box and placed it on the girl's table. The girl came back and said her parents would be home in a little while. But Polly said, "Your name is Tara." She had just somehow known all of this. Tara said, "You need to leave." So Polly could have kept the box to herself if she wanted. But she didn't have the courage to do this herself, to endure the suffering caused by this box. She just wanted to stop all of this somehow. Polly said, "I'm gonna start now." She pushed the box in front of Tara. She said, "You are going to die." So when Polly returned to her house, that old woman appeared behind her. Her condition is worse than before. And the box wanted her to kill Polly. The old woman attacked Polly with a pair of scissors. A struggle broke out between them. To save herself, Polly killed the woman. Polly asked her, "Why me?" As she was dying, the old woman said, "Someone came to my door too." She said, "It could have knocked on anyone's door. I could have knocked on anyone's door. But I think it chooses us because we are broken. It targets our vulnerability." The old woman said, "Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of dying." She said, "Thank you," and died. So from right here, Polly could see their meeting that had happened in the past. That old woman could see the future version of Polly. The sand in the hourglass was about to run out. Polly started hearing the voices of her mom, dad, Amy, everyone saying, "You are going to die." But Polly did nothing. After the sand ran out, the scene shifted to the next day. Her niece Amy was completely fine at home. Her sister was completely fine. But things were scattered around their house. On the other side, Polly also regained consciousness. Her index finger was cut off. But when she went outside and checked, her neighbor was alive. She went and met her niece Amy. She was perfectly fine too. While searching, Polly also reached that young girl Tara's house. Polly told Tara, "You can't play. Give it to me." But Tara said, "What are you talking about?" She didn't recognize Polly. So Polly left from there. She went to the middle of the road and lit her cigarette. Polly's phone started vibrating, but Polly didn't answer it. After a while, the vibration stopped on its own. Polly went on her way. But that girl Tara was watching her from the window. Tara had lied to Polly out of fear, because she had the box. She had also cut off her fingers. Out of fear, she had even killed her own parents. And with that, this story ends right here. Let us know in the comments how you liked this explanation. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.